Well, good morning, everyone. My name is MightyStream. I'm going to do our January the 12th spiritual principle a day in a meditation. How are you doing? I feel like I miss you guys. I really do. I'm spending my mornings with you every morning, but I still feel like I've missed you. You know, today's title is Forgiveness and the Amends Process. We forgive ourselves, we forgive others, and we find peace, regardless of what others may think or feel or tell us. That comes from the Living Clean book, chapter 5, Amends and Reconciliation. Many of us want to skip ahead to step 9 and apologize to those we've hurt in hopes of receiving their forgiveness. We desperately want to shed some of our guilt and shame. We may be convinced that getting others to forgive us would provide a shortcut to feeling better about ourselves. We're reminded that the steps are in order for a reason and that making amends has more to do with changing our behavior than offering apologies. Despite the urge to find a shortcut and get an early payoff, we surrender to the wisdom of experience. We work our way through the first 8 steps before attempting to right the wrongs of our past. The gift of time prepares us for the amends process. I'd be lying if I told you that I wasn't hoping to be forgiven, a member recalled. Despite this longing, we focus on clearing out our wreckage and amending our behavior. Some people may never forgive us, but we can forgive ourselves nonetheless. The road to self forgiveness starts with our commitment to working the 12 steps. In doing so, we establish a new way to live. We focus on the things we can change, namely ourselves. Over time, new, healthy behavior brings a sense of peace to our spirit. Forgiveness is not a finite process. The more we give, the more we seem to get. As I forgive, I grow in love and compassion, and I move forward on my spiritual journey, one member shared. Our actions solidify our commitment to Narcotics Anonymous and to ourselves. We become less concerned about who acknowledges our growth or how our amends are received. We revel in the peace we found within and offer up a little more forgiveness to ourselves and the world. Today, I will I will allow the steps to shape my choices and behavior. I will enjoy the peace I find in this new way of life and reach for more as I practice forgiveness with myself and others. What a beautiful meditation. Let's take a moment of silence, followed by the we version of the Serenity Prayer and the third step prayer. Moment of silence now, please. Thank you. God, grant us the serenity to accept the things that we cannot change, the courage to change the things that we can, and the wisdom to know the difference. God, take my will in my life, guide me in my recovery, and show me how to live. Just for today, please and thank you. I like putting those together. I don't know about you, but I like putting those two prayers together. So we're talking today about forgiveness and the amends process. And if you've been here any length of time, I feel like I need to exhale. If you have been here any length of time, you know for a fact that there are many things that Mighty Stream has done and wanted forgiveness for, and some gave me the forgiveness and some did not. But one thing is certain and two things for sure. I wish I would have been more patient with making the amends. I wish I had been more patient with trying to clean up the wreckage of my past. First of all, it would have been more thorough. You know why I say that? I say that because there's a lot of things I felt sorry for, but I didn't understand why I did them to begin with. And therefore, you already know. You already know the drill. I did them again, and I looked like a fool again. I had no idea that I was suffering from childhood trauma that needed to be healed. I had no idea. So when I said, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I just, please forgive me." And they would forgive me 9 times out of 10. But I would turn around and do the same thing again because I didn't have a catching point. I didn't have a net. I didn't have a check system within myself that says, you've been here before, you've done this before. So we're changing our behavior now. You've corrected the things that allowed you to even get there to the best of your ability, and you won't be able to do that again and get away with it and feel okay with that. I hadn't done that work. I had not done that work. So therefore, yes, I was promiscuous. I broke hearts. I hurt people. I said mean things. I was disruptive repetitively, even though I was saying, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Forgive me. Oh, yeah, that's why we're saying take your time. Take your time. No, listen, I know that there's some newcomers out there. Listen, I know there's probably some old timers coming back newly. There's probably some old timers that have the same clean date. I know there's someone out there in YouTube land that is saying, I don't want to live with this guilt. I am apologizing right now. Well, you know what? Go ahead. Go ahead and make that apology because that is not making amends. If you're going to go ahead and you need to let mom know, let your kids know how sorry you are and that you're on a path of recovery and you're changing, okay, that's fine. But do not trick yourself into thinking that that apology is the same as you changing what caused you to be able to do it in the first place. It's not the same. And it's not fair to them to build their hopes up that now they have you back as their loved one in their life. And you do not have the tools to be able to change the behavior. Now, if you're just itching to have a conversation with them and you don't have a sponsor, which is possible, if you're just itching to have a conversation, I would suggest that you let them know. Now, while I'm not quite sure why I even did that to begin with, I obviously was a very sick person. And what I want you to know is that I'm committed to this life of recovery. And even though I can't stand here today and tell you with a certainty that I will never, ever, 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 ever hurt you again. I will never, ever, ever do that again. I cannot say that because I'm not even sure exactly why I did it to begin with. But I know self-centeredness is at the core of my disease, and I am working a recovery program that is going to help me to get to the core of my issues. I'm going to need your patience with me, but I just want to let you know that I'm very much aware that I owe you an amends. And even though I would love to have your forgiveness, I am very sorry, but I want to do more than just tell you that I'm sorry. I want to make an amends. The things that I harmed in you, I want to be able to correct them because I will be making a living amends. Please be patient with me. If you're just itching to have that long conversation with them, right? If you just cannot wait, you got to put a disclaimer out there. You've got to let them know that what caused it, you haven't even begun to correct that, right? But the potential to correcting it is there. because now you're in a program that will help you to get to the core, the exact nature, right? When we're talking about the steps, we're talking about getting to the exact nature of our wrongs. And that's why you want to do the steps. That's why you want to write your first, second, third, and fourth step. Do your moral inventory. Because when you get done with it, you will share it with another human being in God, the exact nature of your wrongs, right? And in that process of getting down to the exact nature, the person that you're sharing this inventory with is going to be able to note some patterns, some character defects, which are going to be presented to you then so that you can move on to your step 6, right? We become entirely ready to have those character defects removed from us. In step 7, we humbly ask the God of our understanding to remove our shortcomings. Our shortcomings are the things that are causing, right? The things that you're doing, rather, the character defects are the things in step 6. The character defects are the things that are causing the shortcomings in step 7, meaning the things that you do because you're jealous, the things that you do because you're full of pride, the things that you do because you are, suffering from trauma, and you feel a need to protect yourself. You feel a need to steal. You feel a need to lie. These are the things that we're doing. The shortcomings are the things that we're doing that are coming from the character defects, right? Which generally are, they can be many, right? They can be many, but they generally are things like pride, resentment, resentful rather, jealousy, dishonesty, fear. Those types of things will cause a person to act a certain way. And that's why you want to do the steps before you get to the point where you're making a list of people in step 8 that you've harmed and that you owe an amends to. You want to do that work so that you understand, right? Isn't recovery sweet? I know those that have listened thus far, you are enjoying this because recovery is sweet. It is sweet. It makes our lives better. So remember, forgiveness and the amends process, they go together. They go together. The process makes the both of them come together in a very sweet fashion, the process. But you've got to have patience to enjoy the process, okay? So I want that for you. My name is MightyStream. I've enjoyed talking to you today. I am going to have a beautiful day on purpose, and I want you to do the same. Please do that for me. Talk to you tomorrow.